Hello everybody, welcome back to Let's Play RGFX Kaiserreich United Baltic Duchy. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So we've dealt with the Forest Brothers. We have solidified our political situation. So now we can get right on track with the things that matter. So we are currently getting the Ostwallprogramm, which will allow us to start building up some defenses to deal with the Russian threat, which will, 2 years from now, roughly. We're gonna have to really start to worry about them. We're gonna have a handful of troops deploy very soon. Do you have all your equipment already? Missing a little bit of artillery, but that's really about it. And you should be done in about 100 days-ish. Yeah, exactly 100 days. So, those guys deploy. Then we would have 8 divisions. We can field, 18, which is actually surprising. That's a lot, considering the size of our country right now. But I think once those guys deploy, we'll be kind of okay. If anything, I'm actually going to duplicate this again and just remove the support artillery. Probably won't use them too much, but just in the future, just in case we want to get a template there ready. I know our troops are garbage. Mostly because we just don't have the combat width. Because combat width on these guys is what? 14? Which is not great. We're going to need a substantial amount of rifles, because how much does each army cost? 150 per infantry unit. So if we were to get that, because you're 2, so we need 3 of you. 16, 18, yeah. So 3 of you per army. And then there would be 4... And then there'd be 6, so that'd be 6 times 3, 18. And that's 18 times 150. So, you probably need like 5,000 rifles, roughly. Actually, joining the International, not a huge surprise. To make sure Infantry Template 1 and the guys with artillery pieces are actually 40 combat with, which we do want. The Apris are kind of social syndicalists across Peru. Wait, so they go Syndicalist? They did go Syndicalist, okay. The Riga Revel Rally. Automobile sports have been fascinating the Baltic German nobility for a long time. Races between the nobles in the Baltic provinces have been held even before the Weltkrieg. They could afford to purchase and build these vehicles after all. The Duke Adolf Friedrich has been a patron of the sport for decades to come. Back in 1898, he had been forbidden by Kaiser Wilhelm II from horseback racing because of his recklessness while riding a horse. Thus, he turned to driving cars instead. Smart move. Now the situation in the Baltics has stabilized. The Duke has provided patronage to the racing competition across the entire duchy, dubbed the Riga Revel Rally. Rally starts in Riga, the capital, and turns into the forested countryside in Livonia, then by the lakeside of Lake Pepes, and finally stops in Revel, the capital of the Estland canton. Shockingly, the Duke managed to win the race. He chose to give patronage as well. 3 decades of experience allowed him to overcome his competition, especially in the hills and forests of the eastern Livonia, where he was able to repair his broken down car on the spot, while several of his competitions had to bow out. Riga Rally, what would you call it? The RRR or the It's because it's like a car, right? It's a good joke. I stand by that. And I can actually afford to import steel. So hey, Germany, if you would be so kind as to give me at least a single factory's worth of steel so we can start making stuff at a better rate. Because we are slowly building up. Oh, right now we're building our wall, which still takes a long time, even though they're pretty cheap. Only 2 civilian factories is not what we want to be at. Now that you've joined the Kaiserreich Pact, Triple Otania joined the Kaiserreich Pact makes the war against the Ottomans substantially easier, because Egypt is not going to be having to fight like a 2-front war. So we'll see kind of how they deal with it. Hungary's doing all right, but a lot of our potential allies right now are taking heavy casualties. Sweden and Finland, everybody in Austria. Not really what we want, surprisingly. You guys are still killing Alesh Orda. After that, you'll be able to kill Turkestan. And the Ostwallprogramm has finished. So we could just get... We don't have any port equipment. We actually cannot build any of these walls right now. Because you need 1,000 rifles and 150 support equipment. Well, you do get like 2 land forts in every province, which actually is not so bad. I think after this, I think just the ability maybe just to purchase military equipment from Germany that makes sense, because we really can't afford to make it ourselves. So Germany, if you would just be willing to sell me all guns, I would be very, very appreciative of that fact. I'm just going to deploy these guys right now. Them missing the artillery really is not a big deal. It just means that they'll get deployed in the front instead. And we do have troops. Apparently, you're actually not a border province, which is good for us because that means we can actually save a little bit of time there. We'll build up our defenses. I think we want probably 2 units up towards the north, more so than having them down in the south. But I mean, having at least enough troops to cover the entire front line does matter for us. Now Russia can't just easily march their way across the border. They can still do it without much difficulty. But, you know, it's a slight roadblock. Slight speed bump. Okay, so you guys are heading your way towards the north. You basically, I think, have all your upgrades right now. It is almost 1938. Do you have any researchers that are actually almost finished right now? Yeah, 2 of them are tanks and excavation 1. I have been looking at this, by the way. And I do believe it just gives you the template. I don't think it actually gives you the tank. I mean, it does give you 200 of the units. Or 200 tanks, which is not bad. But still, it's not great. I really was hoping it would just give me a tank for free. So we'll actually go for the next level land doctrine, be done within a year. It's really not so bad. Now you're going to fight Turkestan. Not a big surprise. It's a thing that you guys do quite often. Because it's almost 1938. Is there any technology that become available that we'd want to research? I guess just infantry equipment really is kind of our only actual option here. You guys are still fighting it out. And the fact that you aren't just easily winning the war kind of actually is bad for us. I was hoping that Sweden or Finland would just easily crush the other side. Because now they're just wasting so much manpower and equipment against each other that it's really going to weaken our position a great deal. Like, how much manpower have you lost? You've lost like 100,000. Combined, you've lost almost 150k, which is way too much. I bet you they're going to fight this war and they're going to get like 1 province out of it. That's my guess. So we have 86 political power. We can purchase construction material, which is just support equipment. We can get some rifles. 500 is not so bad. Artillery, AA guns. All those we can use to build up this stuff. So it's not a bad idea. Construction speed plus 10%. Gets the Redoubt question. Well, let's just go see what the Redoubt question is, because I have no clue. The political power. Right now, I really don't think we need to... We care too much about like the military staff. I think just getting the weapons and construction material makes sense. I'm also going to get... get the artillery pieces, because we do need those as well. 1,800 rifles. I mean, I guess I could just look here if I was to make you into a full 20 combat with. We'd only be missing 341 rifles for those guys, which actually is not so bad for a nice 20 combat with. So you might think about throwing them in there. And we do not want to build these fortifications until all of these are finished. Because otherwise, they're actually going to get more and more expensive. Which is not what we want. So, I actually am going to then go into this tree. I am going to make you guys into a 20 combat with. Yeah, it's really just better for us. I mean, manpower, I guess, is also an issue. 4,500. We'll do it for now. We're getting negative 6%. It's like really not great. We can't really increase our manpower until the war begins, right? Like I don't think so, at least. Well, if it were to 50% war support, all the following must be true. So if we can get 1% more war support, we can actually get some more manpower. So getting war propaganda then wouldn't actually be a bad idea. But there's not enough world tension for that. And world tension actually boosts this automatically anyways. So as long as... I mean, maybe when the Ottoman War begins, we'll get another little boost there, which wouldn't be so bad. The anti-air guns, the anti-tank guns, they're nice, but I mean, actually, the anti-air guns, you do need a lot of support equipment, and right now we have what, 200, which is enough to build a single unit of walls. And the anti-tank also takes 300. What do you guys give us? Constructs one level of land fort in every province on the eastern border. I mean, that's pretty good. You also give us one land fort in every single province. But actually, it looks like if we can get all of this stuff done, we might be able to get like level 8 land forts on the entire border with Russia. And if we can accomplish that, it would be really, really, really nice. You're going to go on another journey? Again? It's the exact same event, so I guess, congratulations for going back on a journey. You just left, like, 6 months ago. What was wrong with your journey then? Anyways. You're 12 combat with. Which is really, really small. Yeah, we only have 3% population right now because of, all of our problems. Anti-nuclear war on Yemen. I don't know why Belarus and Latvia. Wait, is that at war? Who are they at war with? Oh, they're at war. I didn't actually know they were at war with them. Anyways. Like, I don't know why Ukraine and White Ruthenia has any units in our border. There's like one guy in this one province. And I'm just, like, not too sure why. We got modern construction technology. Let's just see what the Redoubt question is. We need 1,000 rifles, which we don't have. We're getting 13. So it takes us 100 days, roughly. Actually, no, less than 100 days. Probably like 70 days. So about 2 months for us to get 1,000 rifles, for us to build all these defensive structures. You're still building it in Courland. You're both in Courland. But one of you is for fortifications in Courland, right? Yeah, Kirkland. For some reason, they all cost the exact same amount. I guess each one accidentally builds in 2 provinces, so I guess that actually makes a lot of sense. So we'll go for these ones first. Because that's going to get us up to level 5. And then you would then get us up to level 6. Yeah, so we get level 7 pretty easily. But you know what? Let's actually crank you back all down to 1. Because we're going to get free construction out of all this stuff anyways. I think it's kind of okay. I'll buy more rifles and I'll buy more construction material. I really think that's the best use for political power for the time being. We are only getting plus 0.57, which is not great. Our Byzantine political system is not working out great. Apparently, the United States has collapsed, which I'm surprised by. I mean, MacArthur seemed like he was doing pretty well, all things considered. So you know what? We might actually want to get down here next. As soon as the Redoubt question's finished. And then start getting, you gotta have more factory stuff, right? Apparently you're considered a factory thing, so that's good. Factory output, building slots, kind of like not great. 1 civilian factory is okay. 2 civilian factories is actually really nice. Military factory, railroads. Okay, so we do definitely want to get these things sooner rather than later. Okay, so you have less than 10 days, like 1 more week until you're ready to go. How much population do we get? We get 58 recruited population per month, which I know is not enough. Like right now we are like almost 20,000 men short, so that's a lot of 53s that we would need to get. The Redoubt question. 2 approaches to the Redoubt question have been formed within the Bolshevik Landsphere. One faction believes that the approach to the potential breakthrough of the Ostwall should be simple. The Duna River and the urban landscape of the city of Riga offer a defense which can be made impregnable with enough fortifications. There's a key to the Baltic holdout in touch with the rest of the front, and thus leave open the reinforcements from the south. Another faction with a different view of a possible Russian Reichsback war. Because of our fortification in the eastern border, it is likely that the Russians will avoid a direct assault against them and instead strike southwards through White Ruthenia and Lithuania. which these officers see as the weakest link. In such a situation, the Dutch will be isolated from the rest of the Reichspakt, and thus should hold up in the cities such as Riga and Revel, where they can receive German support through the sea and hold up the Russians while the Empire forces do battle in the south. So essentially, do we want to build defenses on this river, so Russia will maybe push through here? Or do we build defenses here, so just in case, you know, these guys collapse and Russia tries to invade from the south? I think we should delay our enemies to the cities, because I believe the AI is much more likely to screw up. Yeah, we'll get this one first. I believe it's more likely that these areas collapse than this front once I built up all of our fortifications and whatnot. So, based on that, I think just reinforcing the south first is preferable. You'll be done on the 11th of February, which means I can start building our fortifications here, because I think these are, yeah, 30 days. It's active for 30 days. How long until you're done? 11th February, so that's less than 30 days. So we will begin fortifications down in the south. So that's going to have us have a, I think a level 3 and a level 5, which are pretty good. Do the other, we get more pop-ups here. Underground Railroad. Land forts in Estonia and Riga. You're building them in, I'm assuming Riga and Revel are getting the defensive bonuses, which is not a bad thing. And I can see that being very valuable for us. I'll purchase German artillery again. I could just keep buying all of this stuff. It seems pretty good. You'll be done soon. I want like one more factory, because right now we're still at 32% civilian factory usage, which is bad. Let me actually go up on partial mobilization. We do need to get rid of all this Black Monday stuff. So then we can have more factory output, more construction speed, more consumer good factories being used for actually building up these fortifications. But we have like a year and a half, and I think we are going to cut it a little bit close, which does worry me a little bit. I think Bulgaria is going to be losing their war soon, but hopefully they end up joining our faction in the future, which would be quite nice. Hungary, of course, is going to be losing their war. They always lose, so it's not a major surprise. And you have returned once again. Thank you for that, giving me some more political power gain. I do appreciate a great amount, because that allows us to buy more stuff from Germany, which we do want. You have 2 more days until you are finished. Then we're going to go for the independent monetary policy. That's going to remove Black Monday, which is great. Going to make our economy just so much better. Prince Federation declared war on the Baharian Commune. Does not mean too much. Are you all... You're planes, right? Yes. So actually, we want to keep you here. Narva is definitely like a risky spot. Buy more German rifles. And I think building the Redoubt here should be fine. So it's going to build one in Riga and it's going to build one in Revel. Which does seem like the best choice for us. Right now we have 1.5 thousand rifles. We have 250 support equipment. We do need more support equipment. Because right now, construction... We need to get both of you finished first before we can actually take this. You know what? We are going to do the Redoubt. Get that going now. If we can get all of these finished, great. So I really right now don't see a way for us. I think I've said like right now like a billion times so far. But I don't see a situation where we really are going to train up too many more men. Just because it's kind of impractical. Our manpower is low, and, you know, I didn't take the choice to get more manpower. So I think once we probably get up to extensive conscription, that's really going to be about it. Maybe serves by requirements, but not too much more than that. And we'll do more construction material. Do we buy anti-air guns? Not quite. And I think anti-air guns... Underground railroad networks. What do you do? Vision speed and defense on core territory. I mean, that seems good. 600 support equipment, though, is quite expensive. Well, we have to finish everything else first. Donkman units join the Reichsmacht. Okay, that's actually really good for us. We're going to make the front line with the Russians substantially longer for them. And who else just joined the Reichspact? Azerbaijan has. I don't think I've ever actually seen them join the Reichspact. I've seen Don Kubin and Georgia. I've seen Don Kubin join, but I've never seen Azerbaijan and Georgia. Maybe Armenia will join as well. That'd be nice. So then we're gonna go for the land grants to returnees. And more fortifications. So does that mean we have one more civilian factory being used for construction? We do, which is really nice. That's actually going to speed us up substantially. And as long as you're done sooner than 30 days. Be done on the 23rd, which is less than 30 days from now. So let's begin the fortifications here. Yeah, because you're level 3, level 5. All pretty good. And then, of course, we're going to be building more military factories when we can. We do need to make support equipment as well. So I'll throw that in here for now. Probably above artillery, to be honest. We'll buy some more soon. South Dakota war in Guatemala. Shane's gonna win the Hunan clique. Everybody's at war with everybody else, but that's okay. I think after this we want to... How many anti-air guns do we need? Only 250, which actually is not bad. How many do you buy? 100. So we'd actually need to do this 3 times to get 250 anti-air guns. But it also does mean we can theoretically put anti-air guns in all our infantry units in the future, which is not a bad idea. But I do think that for right now, it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching my Anthem. If you enjoyed, give me a thumbs up. If not, enjoy, you can always thumbs down. You want to subscribe, and goodbye.